You wild. You wild as hell.
Can't keep it waiting so long.
Oh, we are 4 minutes behind our schedule. And one thing I want to say about us is we take showers just to come down here to the kitchen to do the podcast. A lot of people probably didn't shower today, or they don't shower if they don't leave their house, but we actually are running behind because we hopped in the shower too late. But anyways, let's get started with the show, shall we? I was still pinning my hair.
Go ahead, pin it. Shout out to Autumn Reed. We got a super chat.
Ooh, we got the wait a minute.
$19.99.
Oh, we starting off making money. What does it say, baby? What does it say?
My favorite couple on my favorite marriage podcast, CT and Queen Tanjareen. That is so
thank
kind.
You for sowing seeds onto this tangerine tree and CT tree. These kisses are just for you. Come on, help me. That's your friend.
Slow kisses. Remember?
If it's over $50, they get slow.
Well, this is my first time getting anything. So
okay, there you go.
Slow kiss.
All right.
I put some tongue in there.
Did you ever see?
Hey, did you ever notice? Did you watch Friends?
The reruns, yeah, because it was on the same time as one of our shows of color. So I didn't watch it live. But what's up?
Phoebe was singing this song called "Smelly Cat." I wonder if the writers.
That's popular.
I wonder if the writers are being like sneaky and making it talk about a woman's private area.
Of course.
Smelly cat, smelly cat, what are they feeding you?
Why did you even think of that?
Earlier I was watching TV and it was this. It's called Vixen on Justice League. It's a long.
Of course it is.
Yeah, Elijah Johnson. Yeah, what's up with your screen today? Can't be tapped.
I don't know, but we need to clean it.
It's yours.
So that means we don't need to clean it. Happy Wednesday. What's up? Let me drink my water as you
get you a sip. So everybody, thank you so much for tuning in to episode 42.
This is why you don't start off the show. Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to welcome you to episode number 45 of the Marriage Go Round podcast with Tanjareen and CT. Yes, we are a real life married couple. We got married on a Wednesday. I was born on a Wednesday. We met on a Wednesday, worked together on radio shows, 2 different shows for 2 years on a Wednesday. And the word wed is in Wednesday. So we do our podcast on a Wednesday. This is an hour later. I hope it works for you guys because it works better for us.
Appreciate you, Autumn Reed.
And thank you so much for starting off with Super Chat, Autumn Reed. She already sent us $19.99. The Super Chat and the stars on Facebook are enabled because we're broadcasting live on Facebook and YouTube at the same damn time. And these crown and tangerine emojis are for You're not slick. I gotta warm up my throat.
Let's get it out the way.
With my custom mug that my mother made me from when you and I were at Taj's wedding. Look at CT in the suit. Let me take a sip of water.
Kim Bowens, Monty, Strickland.
You both look amazing. Thank you. My baby in these braids. Ooh, splash waterfalls.
You didn't even know that I shaved.
Y'all look good. Thank you, Monty. You look good is all I know.
Thank you.
You ready to sing the song after I warm up? Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, and do. 5, 6, 7, 8. Marriage go round. Marriage go round.
Cause it's married things and things are rock. Married things and things are rock. The Real Relationship Podcast. Braka.
Baby, that was so good. You gave me energy. You gave me some neck roll.
Gotta get you off my ass. Listen.
That was awesome.
If you want to know what my day-to-day life is, ladies and gentlemen, it's thoughts to myself on, man, what could you do today to get her off your ass? That's daily.
Yes, and on Wednesdays, just sing the Marriage Go Round podcast with some enthusiasm and love. That's all I need.
You look pretty. I like the purple on you.
Thank you, baby. It's one of my favorite colors to wear, and I don't have a lot of it, so I've been trying to buy it more. Thank you so much.
Oh, you don't have a lot of purple, do you?
No, they don't make it in a lot of things. Kim is giving you applause. Elijah says congratulations. I'm happy for y'all. Cheryl is laughing. What about the Cobra Tay remix? Cobra Tay came on Tanjareen's Top Talent yesterday and did a remix to our theme song that was a freestyle 80s rap, and it was phenomenal. I'm going to have to record it so I can play it on here for y'all because he incorporated...
Friend of the show.
Yes, a friend of the show. He incorporated things about the show and you and our arguments and everything. It was really funny. Good day. Somebody gave you a compliment. Tank said, braids looking dope, bro.
Thank you, Tank. And I got a bone to pick with you, young man. How dare you come to California, say you want to see us, then you're like, I'm meeting up with everybody, so we're going to be going in and out. I'm like, cool, I get it, man. You're busy. Come to find out, it was only you and one other person. You could have waited. You could have saw us. How dare you, Tank?
He came in town and was in an area that was 3 hours away from where we are.
Super far.
And then drove to an area that was an hour and a half away from where we were. And it was like, man, I'm not over there. I can't see you guys. And I felt so bad. And then it was just him and his friends. So I was like, okay, he wasn't trying to see us.
I didn't feel bad once I knew it was just one person. I was like, man, I felt bad if it was a group. It was like, you can't lead a group. But when it's just you and you could be like, hey, man, let's make a pit stop.
Let's see what he has to say. Monty says, I love the rock back and forth. CT, that one was awesome. I think it was one of my favorites, Monty. This performance of Marriage Go Round.
Edit it.
Nah, because you're going to get better and better. I never knew that my last favorite could be topped until today it became the new favorite. Amen. Autumn Reed says, not the fire choreography. That theme song has come a long way. You guys, I've been reposting the old episodes from Facebook onto YouTube, and I've only up to episode like 8 or 9 on YouTube. But when I rewatched the beginnings of this theme song, you're right, Autumn Reed. It has come a long way. I am so impressed. Elijah says, I saw you driving yesterday, Tanjareen. You live in Cali?
That wasn't creepy at all.
Tank says, good note, baby. Bro, I reached out 2 days earlier and got answered day of. Ooh.
Not to me. To me?
I don't know. No, I told him a long time ago that I didn't live near the city he said he was going to.
I'll pull it up right now. Tank, don't threaten me with a good time, kid.
Hey, I watch you all's pod. Y'all wild. Keep up the good work. Thank you, James Jarhead Williams. You wild with that name.
James Jarhead.
All right, so let's look at my list of what we've been up to. Oh, I forgot to tell you guys, this is a relationship podcast. So although we are content creators and actors and stand-up comedians, let's keep the questions related to relationships. You guys can ask questions or you can give advice. We can give advice or take advice because we're not perfect.
I am looking at my messages on May 23rd.
All right.
That's when Tank was here.
Okay.
And would you guess, it's me hitting him first.
Oh, what'd you say?
I said, hey, man, how long are you out here? At 11:10 a.m. He responded at 3:48 p.m. Mind you, I said 11:10 a.m.
Okay.
He hits me back at 3:48 p.m. and says, was passing through. Hoped I could have broke bread with y'all.
He just said, I did not reach out to you, CT. I should have.
See? And we're not going to throw Tanjareen on the bus, but what we are come to is don't give me the days before and you did not reach out.
All right, well, if he ever gets back out here, like I said, I was able to meet him because I went to North Carolina and he drove like 3 hours on his motorcycle and met me in a small city where I was. So I've gotten a chance to have lunch with him, take pictures. He's an amazing person.
Well, that's also great because he's, he's Team Tanjareen.
He's yours too. He's Team CT all day.
He's a Moonlight Team CT member. Every time we've ever tried to play the game with Tank, I could probably count in the past 3 years, we played the game, been on the same headset, played the game 3 times, and each time he got off in like 2 minutes, like, all right, y'all, I gotta go. We're like, man, we just getting started.
Just tell him you Team Tanjareen, Tank. Bandersnatch says, Tank tried it. You know CT gonna pull receipts.
Gotta pull. That's me. That's me pulling receipts. Bandersnatch, I got incredible questions for you. I'm glad that you're in here.
Is it about relationships?
Yeah, Bandersnatch got a whole lot going on.
Oh, great. I can't wait. Get ready to click the link, Bandersnatch, and get on camera with your pretty self. Let's just catch you up on what we've been up to since last Wednesday's episode. Then we're going to talk about relationships. Then we're going to pull up some funny memes that we pulled from previous episodes because I didn't do the ones from today because we had so many.
You know what? Today's...
They weren't that good.
They weren't that good. You read it, right?
I didn't because I didn't have time because I was in.
No, I didn't send it to you.
Oh, good.
That's what I'm saying. They didn't hit hard today.
Excellent. So what we've been up to since last Wednesday's episode, I went to go see my friend Carrie's new baby. He's only 1 month old. His name is Jackson Soul. And why did he have a self-tape audition a few days ago? And I said, this 1 month old baby has had more auditions this year than me already. He just came out the vagina. So anyways, I'm happy for her. He's gorgeous.
That's crazy.
I know, right? I've had 2, I think. No, I've had 1. He's had the same. Anyways, then I went to a church, drummer circle.
Jealous of this baby.
Fundraiser dinner, and I haven't been in drummer circle in a really long time. So it was a lot of fun to make beats with people. A lot of them didn't have any rhythm, so it was a hilarious experience. But I don't know that I was great because I hadn't done it before in a long, long time. Exactly. So it was fun. Shout out to the
It hurts when you sit there trying.
Hilarious. Then that night after the drummer circle, me and my baby went to the Hollywood Bowl to see Janet Jackson with Ludacris opening up for her. But we went because we wanted to see Ludacris. And I had a feeling he was only going to do a couple of songs, but he did a lot of hits in 30 minutes.
And
he came out fire.
He had at least 25 more hits that he could have done.
That's good.
Man, I want to see Luda headline, bro. I want to see Ludacris in concert by himself. Janet Jackson couldn't follow him.
That's a good way to put it. Janet came out with songs that most of the audience did not recognize, and it was kind of a slower type ballad type of thing. And she didn't, within the first hour, we saw people start leaving. Could have been because it started sprinkling a little bit, because the Hollywood Bowl, there's no ceiling. It's a beautiful venue to be under the stars. That last hour, I would say the last 30 minutes is when she did the hits that we remember from back in the day. So I had fun for the last 30 minutes. But Luda, fire from beginning to end. So that was Saturday, you and I, date night.
I'm staying in the rain if it's somebody I love.
And we did stay. It started to sprinkle a little bit harder as the show went on. We had a good time. I appreciate your patience because I know you weren't a Janet fan.
You like Janet. I was like, all right, I'm here for Luda.
And we went because another couple invited us, and we don't usually get invited by couples to do things. We're always the one who are doing the inviting. So we were like, yes, we got to do this. And
then, was over for me 30 minutes in. I was like, this is
after Ludacris got off stage, you were like, I'll be in the car. I was like, oh, no, you won't, because these tickets were in the 4 digits.
So
we are
quick little show. They were not 4 digits. Subscribe to everything.
Oh, yeah. Well, we don't have any money left because they were 4 digits. So subscribe to everything. The Patreon.
She's trying to go somewhere else.
You trying to go see who, 50 Cent?
I've never seen him in concert.
Me either. Monty Strickland says, I love Luda. Autumn Reed. Autumn Reed has a question, so I'm going to pin this and get back to it. So just real quick, yesterday I shot some more episodes of Street Smarts on D-Herb's website. It'll be out on YouTube soon. So I will let you guys know when you can find that. But if you follow D-Herbs, DHERBS on YouTube and Instagram, you can see me on a new show called Street Smarts. Then I shot another episode of The Get Back, which is the show that I'm in with Big Ja. And you might have seen in my story that Sade was working with me and I was upset. My battery died on my car, and I had to do Tanjareen's Top Talent from my car. And that was after waking up to a day where we had no water.
Tanjareen's Top Talent.
I hate that face.
Tanjareen's Top Talent.
Singers, rappers, actors, dancers.
Tanjareen's Top Talent.
So anyway, I did Tanjareen's Top Talent from my car yesterday, but it was a good time. It was a great show.
I was so happy to see that. When I was scrolling Facebook, and I saw your face, I was like, oh, in the car.
Because we have been off for 2 weeks, and I don't want to let people down by giving them another week off. But anyway, what you thanked Lexi for was TT. Those braids look crisp AF. All right, so let's get into something.
Let me tell you something. Between Monty, Autumn Reed, and Lexi Lex, they are picking up where you are dropping the ball on these compliments. You understand me? They are keeping me afloat. I appreciate you, ladies.
I wanted to jump your bones when you came home last night with the sweatsuit on and the braids. I couldn't control myself, but we had company.
Oh,
so I complimented you a lot, and you were like, "Oh, I'm okay. I just came to say hi before I go to man cave." You didn't even receive my compliment.
Well, I didn't think that you were serious. Because...
I was dead serious. You look good AF.
Thank you, Tanjareen.
You're welcome.
Now, if I make it a word in the edgewise.
Nah, because I'm gonna keep talking every time you open it. No, go ahead.
I didn't think you were serious because every time people are around, you go into hosting Tanjareen mode where you just go into a whole bunch of compliments. Like you're like, oh, where you going? Looking like that. And I'm like, you don't even talk like this when nobody's around. So I don't take this seriously. That's why I didn't believe you.
I go into host mode when people come over, but I don't start complimenting you because people come over. I compliment you when I see, oh, damn, I'm about to give him a compliment because he needs a compliment. And that when you came in the door with that sweatsuit on, I was like, ooh, my baby's looking. Oh,
I appreciate that. I saw your company come up. I saw the shoes, and I said, "Oh, she must not have met them at the door because there was some shoes on a different floor."
Oh, did you find a way to complain during the episode today?
Yeah, but we're not arguing.
You already said this to me off the air, so there was no reason to bring it up in front of them.
You didn't react.
Oh my God, I'm so sorry that they started walking with their shoes on. I haven't seen the girl in 17 years, and I was so excited. I forgot to say, take your shoes off. Yeah. So they got to the second floor.
I thank you for the apology because my own mother, as soon as she get in the house, I'm like,
my mother too. Baby.
Did y'all peep the eyes?
Hilarious.
That's my mama. Let alone somebody you ain't seen in 17 years.
Anyways.
I find it hard.
Oh,
you ever go to people's house?
Okay.
You ever go to people's house? Or you ever be at somebody's house and people come in with no socks when they're wearing sneakers, and you be like, "Oh, you think you about to walk around with no socks in here?"
Yeah, we don't like that.
Yeah.
Monty says, "I still should have took you in the back for a quickie, looking like a snack!" Exclamation point. Y'all don't understand my baby. He has to be in the mood. I can't do it for him. If he's not in the mood, all my advances. People were in my comments from my last post that are like, oh, you should wake him up with, with the BJ. And I'm like, he's not that guy. And if anything, he'll stop in the middle like, I got to use the bathroom. And I'll be like, oh, the mood is over.
Because here's the thing about morning wood. It's only morning wood. Let me explain something to y'all.
Okay.
Morning wood is a combination of things. And I know Autumn Reed's going to fact check this already, but I'm just telling you from having one for all of this time, I know what I'm saying.
Okay.
Morning wood is a combination of waking up and your muscles are already still from when you sleep, but also your bladder has filled so much that the extra space is in your elephant trunk full of that water. You understand me?
Right.
So that's also what's keeping it super hard in the morning. So sometimes I could be like, all right, come on, get it, whatever.
And your face is doing that because you're struggling through it. And who's enjoying that?
Because I need to get this water up out of me. But I want you to finish.
No.
Or I get rid of this water and I'm just not in the mood.
No thanks. Nobody wants it like
Nobody wants it like that.
So anyways, I don't know what we were saying, but I do have a question from Autumn Reed. Oh, actually, Lex says, did Janet do freaky at the show? She kissed
a 23-year-old child.
We don't know how old he was, but she kissed
He's
one
23.
of her male dancers in the mouth, and then she kissed another male dancer in the mouth. And I thought it was like a TV kiss where you go like this, but you can't really see. But
that's
no,
how you get mono.
They zoomed into the mouth, and you could see they were giving a really heated kiss. And she did that with 2 of her 4 dancers, and we were like, okay, Janet.
That little boy looked like he just wants some more dates. He's like, come on, man, just come on, kiss me. All right, where we at next?
All right, let me see what this starred comment is.
I bet you after every show, he act like Jim Carrey in The Independent Detective when he's pumping his mouth with the plunger.
Oh, that's messed up.
Faithful is Einhorn. Einhorn is Faithful.
You don't think he's excited to kiss Grandma Jackson?
Come on now.
I'm just saying. I don't think of her as a grandma, but I'm thinking these kids are so young.
We are not going to talk about the legend that is Janet Jackson.
I love Janet Jackson, but these kids are not old enough to have grown up on Control and Rhythm Nation and be like excited to realize that she's one of the original divas and from such a legacy as the Jackson family.
I bet you he'd be at every concert like, oh yeah, I'm gonna get her in the front row. And then she's like, I think I should kiss you on stage. And he's like, yeah, that's a great idea.
All right, let's see what some of these questions are. We haven't even gotten into what our topic is going to be.
Oh, you want me to be your boyfriend? Okay, cool.
So you feel like they're not excited, baby?
I'm just telling you, I've been there. I remember, what was I? I was like 18, and the chick was like in her 30s, and I was like, man, what am I doing?
What were you doing there with her, baby?
It was a one-night stand that went too long, and I was like, what am I doing? I'm trying to get some girls here, and I'm over here bringing sand to the beach.
I don't even want to know. That's almost illegal. She missed it. I mean, it was close. Autumn Reed has a question, and it says
23 and she's 57. First of all, I need y'all to know that I'm not doing a double standard because I also think it's creepy when men do it.
It's creepier, but people seem to accept it. If it was an 18-year-old girl with a 30-year-old man, everybody would be disgusted.
I saw a popular celebrity, a white man, popular actor, just went in the news for being 70 or 80, and he just got a 29-year-old girl pregnant. Almost threw up in my mouth. Ugh.
Oh yeah, I saw that too.
You could be her dad's dad. All right, go ahead.
Be disappointed that he got to kiss her. LMAO. Janet Wild and that Coco 19 still out here.
It's still out there, Monty.
That time Madonna kissed Drake on the mouth. I know she'd been waiting to do that. All right, let's see what Autumn Reed says. Question: is the label of girlfriend/boyfriend really that important? Can you have a successful relationship without using the labels?
I believe so. I think the most successful story of that in Hollywood that I could think of is Kurt Russell and Goldie Hawn. They have children, plural, together, and they're not married. They just love each other and they are together. She doesn't say this is my boyfriend. He doesn't say this is my girlfriend. They're together, and from what I understand, they say they're together because they choose to be. In the moment that it's not fun anymore, both of them will leave. And I'm like, oh, I love that, because you're not forced in anything. You're not forcing each other to stay. You don't have these labels. They just love each other. And that's dope if you have that.
Okay, so that is a great question. I love your answer. But how does a woman differentiate between a guy who's just not that into them and a guy who thinks like that, I love this person, we're gonna have fun for as long as we have, because a lot of women will just keep hanging out and keep doing wife things for a man.
Yeah.
And then when he introduced her, it's like, oh yeah, that's my homegirl Tanj. And it's like, you were just in my mouth this morning.
Oh my God.
I made dinner for you last night. I sent you to lunch with a home cooked meal. I did your laundry while you were gone. And then I went to work, but I'm just your homegirl Tanj.
Right.
So how do you know the difference?
First of all, who else is calling you Tanj? That's number one. Number two.
You have the whole internet calling me Tanj because you started putting it in the videos on Instagram in 2017 when I asked you not to.
I'm sorry about that. You want me to call you Tanjareen from now on?
It's kind of too late. Everybody seems to be my homie and call me these nicknames.
Well, I was the first one to call you that.
Yeah, but you did it online for your millions of followers.
And you know what's funny? People will still spell T-A-N-G. Like, that's not how you spell Tanj.
I got a comment today under a video that said, Tanjareen, I'm you and TC's biggest fan. And they spelled my name like the fruit and called you TC. And I was just like, I don't have the energy to reply to this right now, because if you're our biggest fan, you wouldn't have misspelled both of our names. And mine is, you're on my page. My name is on my page.
Here's my problem. I've never met anybody, not even Middle Easterners, with the first name Team. So how would you think that is my first name?
I don't know if they think that. They just don't remember which letter comes first. My brother's in the building. He said Tanj, and he can say that because he's my brother. What's up, Mario? Lexi Lex is answering the question.
I like Mario.
Both people, I like him too. Both people have to be in agreement about not having titles for that to work. That is a great point, Lexi.
I also think communication is above everything. Like, are you guys knowing that you're in a relationship without a title? Or are you guys living together? Have you guys only been dealing with each other? There's so many variables if you're going to go that route.
I agree. So you're agreeing with Lexi, because having to agree about not having titles means you've communicated about it. So that's exactly
absolutely
right.
I agree with her and Autumn Reed.
Jordan says, how about Miss Tanj? That makes me feel like I'm an older.
Yeah, it sounds like
Miss Tanj. I'm about to go
Miss
in the room.
Tanj, can I have some water? Is it okay if I turn the TV on, Miss Tanj?
I don't need that kind of respect. So yeah, that was a great question, Autumn Reed. I definitely think that people can be happy without the label boyfriend and girlfriend, but like Lexi says, and like CT agrees, there needs to be an agreement and communication. You do. I love my new nickname that you got from me.
I'm not gonna say it on live.
And I'm not gonna say the one that I say back to you that you don't love.
I don't like
because I don't want them to hear
it. Here's
it.
the problem, ladies and gentlemen.
Okay, here's another problem. That's all you do. Ever since you got fine with these braids, man.
Ever since I got fine?
You just put me down.
First of all, Tanjareen,
you've always been fun.
That's what I need you to remember.
That's why I got you.
Number two, thank you for the compliment. Number three, when I give Tanjareen, this is what happens anytime we ever communicate about anything. This is what I learned about Tanjareen.
Okay.
You have to, if you ever have a problem with her, you got to spit it out right there. Because what I try to do is change my tone of voice to speak slower and more concise.
As you should.
And respectfully.
Yes.
And every time I do it, you do this. You'd be like, go ahead. What's up?
Because
spit it out.
Because you telegraph. You like a boxer telegraphs their punches. You telegraph that you're about to complain about something with your face expression. So before you can spit it out, I'm just like, okay, here we go to another complaint. Let me brace myself for this punch.
And wait, she's talking about theoretical, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes, because he does beat me.
Don't you dare lie.
And verbally hurts more than physical, because physical heals.
It's not illegal. Anyway, so you won't change.
Help!
Tell them to change the law.
I'm blinking for help. Are you blinking too?
I want help as well. So with Tanjareen, I've been trying to be like, let me try and say this respectfully so I speak slower. And she'd be like, just what is it? What's the problem? And that doesn't make it easier to
criticize me. Great. So if that's gonna stop you from opening your mouth, then I'm gonna keep doing it.
So what I like to do, I like to rip the Band-Aid off.
And continue to rip it off. Oh my goodness. Leroy Strickland Jr. says, we were hoping we ran into y'all in Aruba. Please continue to do what y'all do. God bless. Well, one thing, hopefully him and his lady.
Okay.
One thing I want you guys to know is that I post in past tense. So when I posted that we were in Aruba, I actually put in the hashtags and in the caption the actual date and month that we were there. We were there at the end of April.
Yeah.
I didn't post it till May because my life goes like this. And I don't have time to stop and post and add songs and tag and edit. And because I don't want nobody to know where I am. I don't want nobody to pull up on me. So I post in past tense. So you might have been hoping to run into me because you might have been there for Soul Fest, which was Memorial Day weekend, but we were already back in Cali by then.
Yeah, we have been back a month and a half.
Exactly. I'm not.
Also, it's for safety.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I don't want anybody to pull up on me. So this is another question that I got from the comments. James Jarhead Williams says, see if y'all can answer this question. I've been in 2 bad relationships, divorced twice. Should I get a dog or try dating again?
You might need to sit down and learn you, brother. Like, first of all, if I were you, I would think back, and I've done this personally. I've looked at every relationship and I've looked at what was missing. I look at what went wrong. And I try to see if I was the common denominator.
Yes.
And if that's the
Any more questions?
I was definitely the problem. And I'm still the problem. And now you have to make the decision. Are you happier being single? Do you like companionship occasionally? Or are you someone who can compromise? I'm not really somebody who can compromise. So I had to find somebody who had a similar personality as me to where I didn't have to compromise. We were just the same on certain things.
And I'm good at compromising, so I can pick up the slack. I think it's not always about being equally yoked as it's so much about iron sharpens iron. Both Bible verses, but they both can count. So there are things that I'm really strong in certain areas where I can help him and vice versa. So it works out great. Self-reflection, Randy says, yes. Fist emoji from Emperor Kev. Hey, yo, we in this together, Emperor Kev says.
That's right, brother. We in this together.
Bandersnatch says, get 2 dogs, James. Unconditional love. Exactly, because you've already tried. Companionship, Jordan says, you got to look within to see why relationships aren't lasting. Lexi Lex says, as a married woman with a successful relationship.
True. And also, I'm the person that's ended every relationship I've ever been in. So
actually, you don't even end them. Sometimes you just stop calling. You ghost people.
Yeah. So technically, I'm still in 2 relationships. But
let me get a hold of these heifers.
I think they got the hint by now.
You think?
I mean, if I call one of them, the fade is out. If I hit one, they'll be like, "You want something to eat?" I'm like, "I guess she thinks."
Oh, could you try that, please? I just want to know if the young lady can make enough for both of us. Some vegetables.
You don't eat what we eat.
I said some vegetables.
You think those girls was cooking vegetables back then?
I think they could learn to add those to the diet. Dang, a whole plate of meat.
Proteins and breads.
You was coming over bringing the protein. Hey-o.
Hey-o.
Waka, waka, waka. Let me see.
Inappropriate.
Get a cat so you can at least say you still have some pee at the house. That's funny. Autumn Reed with the comment of the day so far.
That's you got to keep that on the screen.
That's
you
funny.
on your way.
You on your way.
You on your way. You the next Lenny Bruce.
If you were in town, you could be on my show.
If you were in LA, you'd be on my show. Hey, my life is made up of quotes. All I do, first of all, I think I quote Nutty Professor more than any person on the planet. And then I go into Martin and then the Jamie Foxx show.
Tanjareen tried to continue her sentence like she ain't let the B word slip. My bad. That's how that was Listerine. And sometimes she tries to come out when I'm lying. My bad, Lexi Lex, for pointing it out though. I
said, Tanjareen, how much do you weigh? XXX? She was like, hell no, N-word. And I was like, It was so funny.
Anyways, back to Tanjareen.
You're hilarious.
Thank you, baby.
Also, she's from California, and everybody knows LA girls pronounce their F's super hard. And they drag their I's and Y's.
And our ERs.
All the time.
ERs at the end of the sentence, they be full.
Hey, what time is it? You'd be like, what time is it?
That's okay, because you speak pretty country.
I'm cool.
You've been working on it, but you can't say beans.
Beans.
Your beans is too many. Why does your whole mouth come back on
They're beans?
I can't take it. So we're not going to speak on that.
Boston baked beans.
You doing a voiceover job?
Boston. Hey, you ever notice newscasters? You know, it'd be so funny when you see newscasters get out of character, because why is anybody even talking like that anymore?
Yeah.
Today on Detroit's West Side, a woman was struck by a car as she crossed the street. More news at 11.
One reason that I learned.
Hey, a woman got hit by a car, bro. Be careful on the east side. That's what I was like.
I learned when I was in college, because I did major in communications. They speak like that because it's healthier on their voice, because they're going to be doing so much talking. So it's something that's coming from here as opposed to straining their throat.
As Tanjareen spoke eloquently, she let us all know how she felt.
Thank you. More news at 11.
More news at 11.
I'm going to read another comment if you'll allow it, and you won't. There you go.
11 o'clock is also
talking?
extremely disrespectful to tell me to wait for some news.
That could be life-threatening.
I got to go to sleep.
My bedtime is 10,
My bedtime is 10, and you telling me I got to stay up another hour? And when I get there, you push it to 12.
Right, because they keep talking about all this other stuff, and you know why I'm here.
And the news that you tell me wasn't worth me staying up for 2 hours.
It wasn't worth it. They knew it was.
And you get me every day.
And that's why it's better to just go to the website. Whenever they tease something,
as soon as the internet came out,
you just look it up. Okay, got it. Tanjareen giving us the talking tips. Yes, Lexi Lex. Hey, CT.
A bird in the street.
What's up, fam? Hi, Isaac.
What up, Isaac?
Okay, can I read these questions?
Go ahead.
All right, Jarrell Weeks TV says, when my wife and I were in college, she once ran into some guy she knew. Oh, let me put it on the screen, my bad. She once ran into some guy she knew and was like, oh yeah, this is my boyfriend. Lee keeping with him for I like 2 minutes. Wait, what does that say?
I guess he meant to say kikiing with him.
Oh, okay. Kikiing with him for like 2 minutes. I had to check her on that later. Some people try to date out of their league, but fake it for the benefits, money, status, whatever. That always eventually falls apart. I don't know if these things are related. So I don't know if there's a question in here, Jarrell, but it sounds like you feel disrespected. When my wife and I were in college, she once ran into a guy she knew and was like, oh yeah, this is my boyfriend. Kikiing with him for like 2 minutes. I had to check her on that later. Okay.
What did she say after you checked her? That's an update I would like to know.
And it's a learning experience because when you're dating somebody, you have to learn what their boundaries are of the person you're dating.
You want to know a story I just heard the other night?
Sure.
One of my homegirls, so she's been my homegirl. She was on the first TV show that I ever booked in 2008, a show called Played by Fame. Anyway, we became fast friends. She's a twin sweetheart. She's a producer now. I got to hit her up about why I ain't been on one of her shows. But anyway, she tells me she's in a relationship with a guy, and the guy has a daughter, and she went with him and his daughter for her birthday party at like a Chuck E. Cheese type thing, right? And the child's mother was there. So it's the three of them as adults and the baby. And he took his daughter across the street for like some ice cream. They come back. He had some ice cream and some pizza. And he was like, yo, y'all want some? And then the girlfriend was like, no, I'm good. But then the baby's mom was like, no, I'm straight. You know what? Yeah, let me get a piece of pizza. And he fed her a piece of pizza. Like, held it up in her mouth? And fed it to her instead of him letting her break it. And my friend was like, I didn't say nothing in the moment because I didn't need her to think that she got to me. And I don't want to make a scene on the baby's birthday. And the baby even looked at me while he was feeding her the pizza, like,
The baby?
The baby. So she was like, was I wrong for tripping? I'm like, absolutely not. And everybody who knows me knows I'm not a dirty Mac. I don't dirty Mac another dude. However, that was so sloppy.
So that reminds me, my screen is tripping again. What's up, Angelo Giles? Push this button. Okay. That reminds me, I have a Patreon, and on that, I give exclusive content or early release of content, and I've been posting our behind the scenes of our trip in Aruba. Day 4, we were at Benihana, and the chef threw some food, and I caught it in my mouth. And the expression on CT's face when I caught it is so funny because he's so offended. And Z-Dog was the first one to notice it in the comments on my Patreon. He was just like, CT's face expression when he caught that food. But it's not the same as the guy, the salt dude.
No.
Who be like,
first of all, what I said to the entire table, because there were 3 couples in total, right? What I said as soon as I sat down, I said, hey, fellas, ain't nobody getting that stuff squirted in their mouth. I'm going to tell you that right now.
You did say that.
Ain't nobody getting that done.
You did say that.
So when Tanjareen caught the food in her mouth, I was like, all right. But now the rest of these girls got to catch that food in their mouth too. Because I'm not about to be the only one here taking an L.
And the funny thing is, I did it because the athletic side of me wanted to know if I could catch it, and I did. And then the other 2 girls had 2 attempts each, and they both missed it.
The
athleticism, the competitive side of me. I was like, oh, what can I move fast enough to get where it is? You know how when you skeet shooting, you got to predict where it's going to go.
I know a different type of skeet shooting.
And you know the other kind too. We went to the range and we skeet shooting. You talk about ski, the Yin Yang Boys song. That's
I see y'all yin yang.
See, you got to catch the Benny's toss. Exactly, Bandersnatch. It's nothing sexual about it.
Bandersnatch is single.
But she's had love before. She's been in relationships.
That chef knew what he was doing. They all know what they're doing.
Here's the difference.
His laugh was hilarious too.
He was great. And you guys can, again, on my patreon.com/Tanjareen, you can watch, he had some really fun
he was great.
bits. And I've been to Benihana several times, but he was one of the funniest ones we've seen. So that's why I kept him in the video. He was very funny. But I think it's offensive, like when what's the Salt guy's name?
Salt Bae.
Okay, when Salt Bae takes some like rare or medium meat and puts it on a knife and dangles it over a woman's mouth and she eats it off, to me, that's out of pocket. Oh, if a guy has like some champagne and he puts it here and he puts it over the girl's mouth and he's like spraying in her face, to me, that's offensive. But him just throwing me like
every 2000s rap video ever is what they did that is.
And Drive the Boat is what Megan Thee Stallion calls
it. It's a woman doing it, so it's different.
Well, if it is a woman doing it, but I'm just saying, it's different things that I think would be, I'm feeling CT on that food catch. Just saying, hey, Isaac.
Yeah.
You on my page. You shut the hell up.
You ain't about to be catching no random meat in your mouth.
Okay, let's see what this question says. This is,
that's
not read it? Okay, great. Leroy Strickland Jr. I totally understand.
Wait, that name. First of all, the name Leroy Strickland Jr. sounds that like you are a public defender that wants to start his own private practice and you specialize in car accidents. Have you been rear-ended? Do you want more money for your injuries?
Why did you have to sit sideways?
Call Leroy Strickland Jr. I will get money and justice for you. The you come up immediately.
I hate you.
I am Leroy. It's like
you gotta.
Have you been in an accident? Are you worried about your hospital bills? We'll call Leroy Strickland Jr. I will fight for you. Leroy Strickland Jr. Hey, what if it's a series of commercials because they become so popular and his dad get in? Hey, you might have heard about my son solving problems. Where do you think he got it from? I'm Leroy Strickland Sr. and I'm here to help you. He moves slower.
Oh, God. 1-800-411-PAIN.
1-800-411-PAIN. What up, Jack?
Emperor Cam. Hey, Jackie Mooney.
Oh, man.
Hi,
Leroy Strickland Jr.
Oh, y'all are hilarious.
And Leroy Strickland Sr.
I hate that you also have a song for it, a full commercial and a song.
My name is Leroy. I am a Strickland. And I'm senior. And then he come in.
Can we get back to the relationship?
Go ahead, man. You don't never want to have no fun.
I'm having fun. I had a lot of fun. Riley Freeman, this is the Marriage Go Round podcast. We talk about relationships here. We are live. We are a real life married couple. We keep the questions related to relationships, so don't ask me my favorite color or my type of food or anything like that. My favorite movie. It's just
Leroy Strickland.
That's his real name, baby. Now you're laughing at his real name. You think that he came on the show to hear you laugh at his name like that? Why would you? How dare you talk about somebody's name like that? It's so disrespectful. I feel bad.
Leroy Strickland Jr. I will never forget you, bro. Thank you for today. Read his question, please.
I don't even know what he's agreeing to because it was sent like 7-8 minutes ago, but he says, I totally understand. I'm retired military and there are places I can't ever go. We went just because she's never been. As far as us, she is my best friend, and I have a fantastic role model in my grandfather on how to treat my wife. What happens at home stays at home, but most importantly, we pray together and we never go to bed angry. Love what y'all are doing. Aw, see, he was being sweet to us, and we, as in you, just made fun of his name.
I didn't do anything.
You did a whole 2 commercials on everything.
My name is Leroy Strickland Jr. I will fight for you.
CT going off the rails is top tier. Oh, where is Leroy from, Junior, not Senior? Oh my goodness. I'm looking for a relationship. How's the dating scene nowadays? Reggie Williams, you're in a full-on marriage. You can't be looking for a relationship, yes?
He does the commercial. He got a jealous, envious brother. How come I can't never be in a commercial with y'all? Because your name ain't Leroy. I'll put you in there, put your brother in the commercial.
It's Larry.
I'm Leroy. I'm Leroy Sr. And I'm Carl. Carl Strickland.
Lexi says y'all might as well make a sketch out of this. We're invested. Oh God.
I will file your paperwork.
I'm so mad.
That's Carl. That's Carl Strickland.
Fact, CT Leroy, either an injury lawyer or a bail bondsman. Oh my God.
Have you been in jail for far too long? Do you not know when they're going to charge you or not? I will get you home today.
What is the point?
Carl always be pointing to the wrong camera. I'm Carl Strickland. I'll make sure your paperwork is filed. Leroy Strickland Jr.
What's up, Calvin Fritz? It's Callie Burr.
Callie Burr.
Isaac says I'm going to watch this episode again just for those commercials and for you. And he pointed with the emoji. That is hilarious. Please do this sketch.
Yes.
Please, Isaac said. The other brother is Donald Strickland runs the camera. That's funny.
Man. Leroy. Are you still here, Leroy? I'm sorry.
He might have went and cried in the car.
He probably left.
Leroy Strickland from Strickland
Daddy, they
Law.
talk about us.
Sweetheart.
Patch me through, boy. Let me talk to the people.
We've gone out of control at this point. Did you have a...
Yeah, we were supposed to talk about what we wanted to talk about last week.
Let's reset. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're just tuning in, we are live here on my Facebook and YouTube page with episode number 45 of the Marriage Go Round podcast with Tanjareen and CT. Yes, we are a real live married couple. And we are talking about relationships. We get questions from you. We have our own topic for the week. We also read funny memes before we get out of here. And what also makes our show unique is that you can click the link in the description and get on camera with us to ask your question. So if you would like to get on camera with us and ask your question, click the link and we will get to you. We'll see you in the green room. Yes, baby. What are you trying to do while I'm hosting? CT being unfair tonight. Yes, I saw that. Cobra said.
CT being unfair tonight.
You're absolutely right. He is. So Leroy clicked out when CT laughed uncontrollably at his name. Exactly. Monty says, I love this. Anonymous Apocalypse is laughing hard. CT. So we have a list of questions that we always refer back to if we need a topic. And it's kind of a coincidence that on last week's episode, Smooth Spinner came on camera with a question that was very much in line with the topic we want to talk about. And I want to know why you want to talk about this. But your question was...
Who asked the question?
Yes.
Can I ask you a question?
Is it going to be about this commercial and making fun of Leroy Strickland Jr. and his family's names?
Does anybody you know ever deal with mesothelioma? I will fight for you.
Oh, God.
Because my name is Leroy Strickland.
Why do you put the glasses on to take the glasses off?
I will get you all your Medicare.
Oh, okay.
Go ahead. What's the question?
Hold on. Autumn Reed said Leroy Jr. equals lawyer. Leroy Sr. equals bail bondsman. Carl is insurance and car registration.
Facts.
I hate everybody.
My name is Carl Strickland. Are your tags expired? Because we got to wait for you to get back on the road. Simple and plain.
I don't need to be here.
Leroy Go Round episode.
Leroy Go Round.
Leroy Strickland at your service.
If you're having relationship problems, call 1-800-411-MGR-45. Ask for Leroy Strickland Jr. I will fight for you. I hate everybody in this podcast right now. My side hurts, Isaac says. The wheels are off, Anderson says.
That's so funny of a name,
This man was giving us credit. He was giving us wisdom about relationships.
Leroy, you're the best.
This is how you repay him.
You made my day, Leroy.
And we have ruined his. So you had a question. I'm not sure what was on your mind, but you said, when is it too soon to date your friend's ex? Can your associate date your ex if y'all weren't that close? Can a comedian date or marry another one after the relationship is over? What is one of the worst? Oh, that might, let me put that one later.
Yeah.
Okay. So for today's topic, CT suggested a month or so ago, how soon can you date your friend's ex? What if they weren't a close friend, they're just an associate?
Yes. So the reason that came up was because for one, I think someone came on, it wasn't just last week, but this has come up before, like that question. Mm-hmm. Two, the way that I grew up was very different from what I learned most people are like. Right? Meaning it's frowned upon apparently to date somebody's friends, but I didn't grow up like that because when I start really being into girls, I'm around 11 or 12 years old when I'm like, hey, forget all this playing. Let's find the girls, right? So I had a buddy named Daniel, and Daniel and I went to junior high school together, and I found out he lived across the street from me, like across the intersection from me. So we were coming home one day and he was like, yeah, I live over here. I was like, I live right over there. So he was coming to visit me and I'm walking back with him to his house and we see this girl named Maisha. Maisha lived around the corner from me. And apparently this was his girlfriend. And I was like, who's that? And he was like, oh, that's my girlfriend. I was like, man, she's so pretty. And he was like, yeah, she's cute. She was a tomboy, just cute. And fast forward, not even a full week, like this was spring break week. So like 2 days later, he was like, yeah, I think I'm gonna break up with Maisha. I was like, what? He was like, yeah, this pretty much run its course. I was like, can I get at her? He was like, yeah. You want me to put in a good word for you? I was like, that would be great, right? Fast forward 20 years, come to find out, Daniel was gay. He came out the closet. He's been living this very happy life. I'm very happy for him. He's down in Florida now. And this actually might be part of why things were so different because he wasn't into her like I was into her. So I guess with heterosexual relationships, when you have a friend that dates a girl, if you be like, hey, can I get at her? To be like, no. And I was like, I had already been told yes before her. So I thought
was not really into girls.
Yeah, but I thought this was cool. And of course, at that time, I wouldn't have known that Daniel was gay until like later on. So my views and opinions on it were different. It's like, yo, they were so different that I had to start making a list of my morals when it came to that. I was like, all right, I have a list. If your name is on this theoretical list, I will never date a girl that you loved or were with, right? And that list is very short. BT is on that list. You know?
Stop playing. That's the whole it's ridiculous.
BT and Jakari are on that list.
So you would date Ron G's ex-wife if they broke up?
She's not my speed, but that's Ron G's. Oh, I get what you're saying.
So Ron G's on your list.
I love Ron G.
So if his wife was your type and they broke up,
we're not even talking about that because she's not my type. I'm not her type.
I feel like that means you would smash Ron G's ex.
First of all,
Ron G, do you hear this?
First of all,
the only people on his list are BT and Jakari, who lives in Detroit. All the rest of you comedians and friends out there, CT will smash your girl.
I'm saying this as jokingly. The list is way longer than that, guys. Don't listen to Tanjareen.
Nate ain't on the list. He didn't say Nate, Lexi Lex.
Nate ain't never had no girl he loved.
Doesn't matter. That's not what we're talking about. We're talking about, is he on your list? And he's not.
Yeah, Nate's on the list.
It's too late.
No, Nate's on the list.
It's too late.
Nate,
that's
BT,
because he only
Jakari,
likes the kind of girls that are the same color as the top of the same color as the top of his
He does not like clear women. Anyway, I have a list. So it's like when you have that list, those are women of your friends that you would never even look at. Ron is definitely on that list.
These are some good questions. First, let me just start over by saying today's theme is how soon can you date your friend's ex? Or what if it's not a friend, but it's an associate? How soon can you date them? So let me tell you what you guys have been saying. Bandersnatch says, are they still alive? Great question.
I mean, death.
Reggie.
Everything's out the window. No, my list is still intact.
Reggie says, I give it about 4 days.
Good to know, Reggie.
4 good days. Autumn Reed says, depending on how serious a relationship was, 6 weeks to 1 year, or once the friend is in another stable, long-term relationship. But I still inform them before start dating.
6 weeks.
6 weeks to a year. Reggie says, never date your friend's exes. Isaac said, did Ken Edwin make the list? I guess not.
Yeah, I had to hear you all. I had to hear you say the full name.
Well, he just said, did Ken make the list? I'm assuming it's Ken Edwin.
I love Ken.
What about dating Sabrina, Tony Baker's ex?
I would never.
That's a good question because I saw Tony Baker discuss that on his podcast. He broke up with Sabrina Sith after I don't know how many years they were together. You guys probably know. And somebody asked him in his Patreon while he was recording his podcast, you know, what if a guy, another comedian or whatever, tried to holler at Sabrina? And he said, oh, it's already happened. And he had just taken her to the airport like the night before. So it was like, man, they didn't even wait, whoever this person was, to try to get at Sabrina. Knowing that means they've been watching the relationship the whole time, like, oh, she's so bad or whatever. It's like, that's crazy.
I would never. Tony Baker's definitely on the list. Tony Baker, those who've been following me for any number of years, this goes even a decade before y'all start following me. Tony Baker is like an older, grouchy brother of mine. Like Tony Baker is the kid that when you were 3, he was graduating high school, and you know this is still your brother and you love your brother, but you're like, man, I can't say nothing bad about my brother. You know what I'm saying?
We love that guy.
Yeah, you love Tony Baker.
Bandersnatch says, no pot anywhere around. Tanj, let me stir it. I just stirred a pot.
Facts.
Bandersnatch be coming with the best summaries of this show.
Bandersnatch is the best, man.
Shake my head. People are trifling, Cheryl says. Hey, Biggie Whitaker, thanks for being here. Sidewinder, Randy says. With a Sidewinder snake. Okay. So the reason that I thought that Tony Baker is funny, we agree, Randy. It's just if it's just an associate, a week, maybe. If it's a friend, never. Also,
wait, let me say this. In high school, there was a guy named Dwayne. Dwayne was super cool, right? But Dwayne, he was somebody that I was like, man, I like this guy. He was a year behind me. And there was a girl that he dated, that I knew he dated, and they broke up. And I saw her a couple of weeks later in the school, and I was like, man, I want her. And we started dating because he wasn't on the list.
So that reminds me, one of the guys that I dated for some years, I was comfortable in that relationship because we didn't have titles. I loved the flexibility of what we were doing, and we would just have a lot of fun together, but we never questioned each other's behavior when we weren't together. But I met a friend of his, and his friend was also my type, and his friend asked him, which a lot of people say you're supposed to do before you approach, somebody's man or woman, you're supposed to ask, is this your man or woman? Is this serious? Is it okay if I holler? Like he asked his friend, and the guy was like, yeah, you want me to put a good word in for you? So this friend asked the guy that I had been hanging out with for a few years at this point, hey, who's that? She's bad. And the guy I had been spending time with did not speak up for me. He didn't say, oh, that's my girl or whatever. He just said, she is bad, ain't she?
You are bad.
Thank you. And he said something to the effect of, you should try and get at her. And I was just like, huh. So when I got that information, I was like, well, cool. So I started to date the friend and stopped dating.
Spite.
I was like, you're not taking up for me after all this time we spent together, and we don't have labels, so I can't be mad at you.
For you. I watched your drive.
All the things
I sent you to work with a late.
Exactly. So I was like, cool. So in that situation, the person asked permission, and to me, they got it. And it probably makes me, a scamless heifer, but I did it because of, what happened. And then I admitted it because I'm wild as hell. You know how we have digital picture frames that are doing a constant slideshow in our house. And I had one back then. And when I went on a date with this guy, I added him. It wasn't actually a date. I'll say it like this. We went and did a fun activity. Like, for example, if we went to skydiving at Humorous, or if we went to Sky Zone, if we went to the gun range, wherever we went, this fun activity, I posted that as a picture in my digital frame. So when the guy that I used to deal with came back over, he was like, you going on dates with my homie? And I was like, hey, man.
I didn't make the frame. That's what he should have been mad about. That he didn't make the frame.
He's in here too. I'm just saying. My past is my past. You bad, DJ C Sharp. I know.
Guy trip.
Spite is a terrible thing. What happens when your friend is salty and says how does my eggplant taste? Woo! That's great. Good friends, X is off limits. Dwayne went on to be The Rock. LOL. Oh, that's funny.
Are you a salty friend that has lost your girl to your boy? I can help you. My name is Leroy Strickland Jr.
This is so mean.
And we are fighting for you.
This is terrible. Welcome to Pettyville. Yes. Dude made the gallery wall after one date.
One date,
honestly, no. We hung out a long time. He actually had we actually traveled together.
Oh, go ahead.
We actually traveled together.
About to say.
We had a great time in a several month span.
In the bedroom.
But that picture, because it was such a fun activity, I added it to my frame because I didn't have anything to hide. I wasn't in a committed relationship with somebody who cared. But then I found out he did care. We had to talk about it. And I was like, oh, well, this elevated things. Anyways.
Let me tell you something about Tanjareen.
Yes.
Tanjareen is the sweetest, big-heartedest.
Where are we going with this?
Kind angel.
Uh-oh.
But when I tell you that heart is big or it's non-existent,
you get nectarine or you get Listerine?
You talking about a cold broad. That is Tanjareen.
Leroy, the marriage consultant. So we do have 2 people waiting in the green room, and we have about 6 minutes left of the show, but we've been going about 10 minutes over lately. So let's bring in a couple people and see what their questions or advice is about relationships. We both have a show tonight.
Yeah. Let's bring in my guy real quick. Cobra Tay! What up, Tay? Talk to us, man. What's your question? What's your comment?
Team CT all day, CEO of Cobra Tay.
Comment is basically, dating your friend's ex, nah. If they're an associate, yeah, go ahead, holler at that, go ahead, try your luck. But if they're a friend, that's off limits. That's breaking the bro code. We don't break the bro code. Question: what happens if you try to date your friend's ex and they happen to be whoever's trying to date someone, but they happen to be your ex's sister or brother?
Oh, you go first.
Well, funny story.
Oh my God. You go first then.
When I was in the 10th grade, I went on a date with this guy. And I realized at the time he wasn't really my type. And we went on a double date with his little brother, and his little brother was in the back seat. I think we went to we found a drive-in theater that was because those didn't exist anymore. But we found a drive-in theater. His little brother was in the backseat with this other girl. We went on this first date. But every time I would call, his brother would answer the phone. And I would have this great conversation with his brother. So I eventually said, you know what? Your brother is really cool. Is it cool if I talk to your brother? And he was like, yeah, absolutely. Because, me and you, we don't really have a chemistry. We haven't clicked. And I hadn't had sex with him or anything. So I started talking to his brother and dated his brother for a year and a half.
Good for you.
Funny story. Cut to, I get older, find out that my play cousin had a very long-term relationship with the original guy that I went on a date with. And I was like, how funny is that? That, we circle back. But yeah, it was his brother.
Why'd you break up with the little brother?
We broke up because he was about to go to the military, and I thought that was the end of the world. I was like, if my boyfriend doesn't live right around my neighborhood, this isn't ever going to work. And so I started starting arguments with him and just, getting us to be mad at each other so that we could break up. But he and I, we're still friends on Facebook.
You were so immature.
I know.
I'm glad that happened. I mean, I wouldn't have got with you. I wouldn't have been able to get with you if you were still with him. But I mean, y'all didn't, have a real bad thing.
Yeah, we didn't. What's your answer?
You need to go see what's up. Let me see. I don't think I've ever dated a girl's sister or cousin. Yeah, I just always not because I'm just holier than thou, but it's just none of the girls I dated, their sisters or cousins were ever cold for me to be like, ooh, that's the one I want. You know what I mean? You ever go out to a club and you see a group of homegirls and you kick it with one already, and you meet her friends, and you be like, damn, I should have waited.
Yeah.
That hasn't happened with family.
Well, I'm glad to know that. Good question, Cobra Tay. Isaac says, good question. Randy says, you trying to start a fight at the family cookout or a babysitter wherever they met. Never date immediate family. Closest you can do is second cousin, is what Autumn Reed says. I meant baby shower. Okay. Trying to start a fight at the baby shower. Got you, Randy.
All right, Tay. My guy. Always a pleasure, man.
Bye.
Always, man. Me laughing.
My man.
We appreciate that. Bandersnatch says, no babies, uncles, or daddies. Cousin, maybe.
Let's bring him in. Slick Tafari. What up, though, my guy? What's
going
on? What up, though, y'all?
Blacksmith, where you located? What's your question?
I'm from Detroit, Michigan.
West Side?
And what's your question for today about relationships?
So, I want to add on to the question from earlier, about how soon can you date a friend's ex? It's never cool. It's never a time. It's always gonna be awkward. That's always a screw in a you throwing a screw in the mix. That's just off limits. But my question is, how soon can it be for a mother to tell their sons or their kids that they're dating a man their age.
Oh my God.
Is that how serious it's gotten with the young lady that's older than you that you've been talking to us about?
We got into it.
Got into it?
We did.
No. He means got into it. Go ahead, man.
Got into it.
Let him tell you.
I'm listening.
So basically, me and her son, had a conversation, and her son is real cool, but he feels the same way I feel, and I feel like if my mom was to date somebody my age, of course, you won't have to tell me something.
Just like
you can't yeah. So like, but yeah, me and her got into it because I'm like, well, your son is civil. You know what I'm saying? Me and him had a conversation. He just feel a certain way because you didn't tell him, and I didn't introduce myself sooner enough, and you never opened up a window. And
Wait. How did he find out about you? Did he wake up and he's eating his cereal and you walking out in your boxers?
No, he came over to check on his mom, and I was sitting on the couch in my boxers. Yeah.
Ooh, this nigga got a key.
Okay, so you feel like it might be you guys' fault because you should have sat him down already, but maybe it was too soon. How long you been dating her?
This is 2 months now, like going on 2 months.
Okay.
Let me tell you how comfortable you got to be at a chick crib to sit on the couch in your drawers.
Hey man, that means he's been smashing. It's been good. She probably been cooking for him.
He needed a break for a second. Let me go ahead and see what Maury talking about.
I'm talking about remote and reach, everything, legs spread, like AC on.
This is about to be your crib in about 3 months.
Wow.
I know. I've been there.
So I mean, I don't know.
So the question is, how soon should he have informed the son, or should the girl have informed her son that she had a new man that's the same age as him?
It definitely should have been the mom. You should have had no parts of that at all. Should have been the mom. And then after she broke the news, a couple of weeks or a month or so later, she'd be like, look, I'm bringing him by if you want to meet him. And that's how that should have went. But for her not to have said anything and for him to just walk up and see that, I can only imagine how traumatizing that is. I would, no disrespect to you, I would kill a man that was my age dating my mama. My mom would never do nothing like
That's
that.
how I feel.
Like, yo.
But listen.
Yeah.
Listen. It's only been 2 months.
So what?
So 2 months is like when people have like a 4-year-old, they're like, oh, I don't want a lot of men around my son, so I'm not gonna let you meet him until we're serious. And that might be a year later. If it's only been 2 months, should she have already sat her son down and told her about
He has a key. Yes.
So if she's dating at all, she should be telling her son, hey man, don't be coming over here without calling.
That's true too. But a kid is gonna be like, you my mama. I come over here anytime I want.
You wouldn't do that to your mama, would you?
If
she told you she was dating?
First of all, I don't have a key to my mama's house now.
Exactly.
So that's what changes everything. If I had a key, I ain't listening to nothing. I got a key. My sister got a key. And she ain't gonna just pop up over there unless my mama ain't picking up the phone.
So she needs to set some boundaries with her son of, hey, your mama's dating. I'm single and I'm looking to find love. Call before you come over.
Yeah.
Because 2 months, I think, is too soon for her to have to sit her son down and say, oh, I got this young dude that's blowing my back out.
Jesus, I hope she wouldn't talk to her child like that.
I mean, I'm just saying that's
right.
what he's gonna picture.
I mean, but the thing is,
I popped the fuck up.
Did y'all resolve it?
Sorry, I read that out loud.
The thing about that is she has a thing to where she wants things at her timing, on her timing. She feels like things should be aligned in her way. And
right.
That's like, okay, but this situation just like your son just walked in on me basically watching Maury in my drawers. Like,
yeah.
So you put me on a spot situation to where I had to say something.
Those, by the way, those are the best episodes when you're in your drawers, not expecting to watch Maury. You're like, oh, this is a great episode. I didn't know it was coming on today. But anyway.
First bowl of Captain Crunch. Yes, I had a first bowl of Captain Crunch.
I know you did, because that's the cereal I had in my mind.
I swear. But that was just he was very civil. He what was going on, man? And because his mom, date. He just didn't know it was gonna be a person like around his age, so he came in, whoa, what's going on? What's up, man? I'm like, what's going on? And he walked, around his mama house, and I'm like, I got to get up and say something because, it's too quiet. It's awkward. And I know that's her son, but he don't know
whisper fighting
anything about me.
Wait a minute. So you had to say something. What was she doing before you said something?
She was gone.
Oh, she wasn't even home.
I thought she was there. Woo.
Oh, wow.
So fast forward. What do you say to him then?
I introduce myself. I tell him, I'm your mother's boyfriend. Me and her are dating. Da 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 da. And he basically expressed himself like, okay, I know my mama date, but I think it's just disrespectful that you're my age and me, and this is your first time. This is my first time hearing about you. So, and I told him I understand that because if it was my mom, it would be the same situation. I would feel some type of way. So,
did you at least put some clothes on before you had this conversation?
No.
Oh, asking a hard question.
Me and your mama been talking, man, and we'll feel like you pulling your weight around it.
He turned the other cheek and kept working. Oh my God.
Okay, so wow.
The results are in. In the case of Mama's son / Slick, you are the father.
Did you know she had a son your age?
Yeah, that was a question.
Yes.
Okay. So this is so tough. That was a good question, Monty. This is so tough because again, I don't think it was your place to have to tell him.
It wasn't.
I think 2 months might have been too soon to tell him. And I think the problem is that she knows her son has a key and he comes in and out. But what I really keep hearing is that you keep saying, I would feel the same way. I would feel the same way. So are you honestly comfortable dating a woman that's this much older than you?
No, I'm saying I would feel the same way if my mother was in that situation, to where if I walked in my mother's house and saw a dude my age sitting in his drawers, I would feel disrespected.
I hear you, but you in too deep now. So now you got to continue to date her. You done met the son already. Y'all now got to stick together. And
but that was on. She felt like I put her in a situation between her and her son.
How?
But you didn't do anything but sit there, unless she told you to be gone before she got home. And
she didn't tell me. She didn't tell me anything. Like this was like a regular day. Like when I go over to her house, it's basically this is my house basically. You stay here as long as you want to. You cook. Because I cook and I clean and I do my thing around the house. So she said, you cook, you clean, this is your house, and when I come back, you're still gonna be a house. So
thank goodness your meat wasn't out.
Yeah.
Marshall said, OMG, I would have at least grabbed a robe. At least. Did you even have a robe at her house?
No,
it's not your house.
No.
Oh, this is good. You can't talk to the sun with polished wood out your pants on Flick. That's funny. At least he had on some boxers, but I don't think you did anything wrong.
You did not.
But you just have to be honest with yourself on if you think this relationship is one that can be respected by yourself and by others, because you may not actually honestly deep down inside be comfortable with the fact that she's as old as she is and has a son that's around your age. It might make you, is this somebody that you want to bring to the family reunion? Do you want to show off to your friends and loved ones that you got this woman who's older? You do?
Potential, yes.
Okay, nice.
Then you're good. Don't worry about nothing else, man. Everything else will work itself out. You and the son don't have to be friends or best friends or nothing like that. Just, hey, how you doing, man? And just keep it moving, because the territorialness did not show up immediately, which shows that you're dealing with a level-headed man. If he would have came in trying to be territorial, like, hey, man, who is you?
And trying to fight.
Then he's kind of trying to claim his territory. But the fact that he just bowed down immediately, how you doing? All right. Kind of feel blindsided by this. But all right, talk to you soon. You know what you're dealing with. You're dealing with somebody who can make smart decisions.
Yes, and Anna Reed says it's none of the son's business. He has no say in what or who she does. It's right. Everybody's grown in this situation. You can't blame the dude. He's not wrong.
Also, shout out to you for having so much juice that she said, I know he my son age. I got to give him the box.
And let him run the house.
Let him run the house, yeah.
Do what you want in here. My house is your house. That's how good his elephant trunk is.
You know how much wood you got to be laying properly for a woman to let you have full reign of her home, knowing her son has a key? Sir.
Yeah.
Salute.
Does Don't ever call him daddy, Marshall says. Oh my goodness.
You talking about the son.
How old is she in comparison to your mama? Because that talk might be rough too.
Oh yeah. How much younger?
How old is your mama?
She's 51.
And how old is this woman you're dating?
43.
Oh, thank God.
So 8-year difference.
Oh, that's good enough.
Difference.
What are you, 28?
But it's not even a whole generation between that.
Listen, God bless that age difference. Whew, you scared me, boy. You scared me, boy. I thought you was about to say your mom is 51 and she is like 49. I'm like, oh God.
Jordan has good advice. Try to get to know each other.
You don't even have to do that. I mean, just keep it pleasant, keep it respectful. But you're good.
Sir Slick, we salute you.
Sir Slick. Your new name henceforth will be Sir Slick.
Yeah, man, you're doing that. And how old are you? I forgot.
28.
You're 28. The young lady you're talking to us about, you said is 41? 43? Okay. You're 28. The young lady is 43 and your mother is 51.
Almost 10 years older than this girl.
Wow, you did your thing.
You did your thing. Yeah.
Do you have a good paying job? Because I feel like dudes that lay the pipe don't have to work that hard. They let a woman take care of them.
No, I have, I take care of myself.
And that's where we're gonna leave it. I know that name, bro.
Yeah, he's studying with himself. Keep laying that pipe, Sir Slick. Thank you so much for that great question. Please keep giving us these great relationship questions.
Every appearance you've had is incredible.
And don't forget,
forward to them.
Don't forget, it started with him saying, I fumbled the bag when she spoke to me at an event.
We helped.
He said, I didn't say anything back to her when she flirted. What do I do? And now look at that. You're in there.
Bowl of cereal.
Thank you.
Girl.
You're welcome.
Talk to you soon, man.
Bye, Slick.
All right, man. Love y'all.
Love you back,
love
brother.
You. That was great.
Amazing. That's a banger of it. That's how we end the show.
So it should, okay, y'all tell me in the comments if you had a good time today. Like we know the views on the live are not as high as the clips that we cut. What should be our clip from today?
You got to do 2 clips from today.
Should we do the commercial with Leroy Strickland? Should we do the question from Slick Safari?
You got to do both.
Or is there something I'm forgetting about? What should be today's clip? Tell me in the comments under the video on YouTube, not in the live chat that's going to be on the side. Wait till this video ends and tell me in the comments on YouTube. And you can tell me right now on Facebook. What should be the clip from today? What was your favorite part? Let me know if you're married, single, separated, divorced, widowed, whatever. Thanks so much for watching. I have a show tonight at the Powell House. And it is, man, this screen is tripping. Help me out, baby. I have a show tonight at Powell House. The flyer is coming up. It's lower. The show is at 8 o'clock. And if you're in LA, I posted the flyer on my Facebook and Instagram. I'm trying to put it on the screen right now, but apparently I need to clean the screen on my iPad because this process is taking too long. That was it right there, baby. All right. I'm on this show right now. Bam. 8 o'clock tonight. So I have 2.5 hours to get ready. I'm hungry.
You should eat.
He has a show somewhere tonight as well.
Yeah, I'm going to be on your show.
He's going to be a surprise guest on my show. You got shows tomorrow?
Yeah, tomorrow night, I'm at the Laugh Factory in Long Beach. Friday night, I think I'm off. And then Saturday, I am at Don't Tell Comedy in Thousand Oaks. And then I think I'm going to go to Keenan Baker's
Bonfire
Stories
yes.
to see Keenan Baker and my best buddy, BT Kingsley.
Yes.
Yeah, you got 2 clips to cut today.
Isaac says, so glad I caught this show. Good night, fam. Thank you, Isaac, for participating with us live. You guys helped make the show so much fun.
Thanks,
CT,
Marshall.
Nice glasses. Monty's throwing up our favorite emojis for both of us. Lexi Lex says it was hilarious and insightful today.
Lexi Lex.
Watching y'all. Bandersnatch says, CT didn't make eggs today. LOL.
She didn't deserve them. She didn't eat the last ones until later. She didn't appreciate what I'm doing around here.
And why didn't I eat the last ones until later?
Because you were busy.
Doing what?
Working. Preparing for your show.
Perform for our show. Editing the clip and adding the captions and editing the captions.
Can I say something before we get out of here?
Post them before we went live.
Can I say something? Because you got to start posting clips earlier. Can I say something before we get out of here?
You know what?
This is your show. Are you somebody's son and your mom is dating somebody your age or younger? Do you have a key and you were blindsided and they're coming into your mother's house, but you didn't know? You would see a man sit on the couch in his drawers eating your cereal. Well, boy, do I have news for you. I can help you get all your pain and suffering taken care of because my name is Leroy Strickland Jr. and I will fight for you.